Mario and Luigi have been leaping through game worlds and galaxies for almost 4 decades now, and Princess Peach has had to be rescued so many times that even the internet has lost count. Still, gamers continue to follow the platforming plumbers down every warp pipe and eagerly await the next entry in the franchise. This is the evolution of Super Mario Part 4. 25 years after the original Super Mario Bros. Game was released, Nintendo's poster boys were appearing in their first game on the Nintendo 3DS, Super Mario 3D Land. The title launched in November 2011, and while a Mario game in 3D was nothing new by then, the combination of both 2- and 3-dimensional gameplay was certainly unique. Lead game designer Shigeru Miyamoto described it as a 3D Mario that plays as a 2D Mario game, going on to explain that Super Mario 3D Land combines the elements of traditional side-scrolling Mario titles with those of the modern open-world Mario titles, which are much more 3-dimensional. The gameplay of Super Mario 3D Land is similar to that of previous 3D Super Mario games, although it follows the more linear platforming path rather than being open world. Traditional items, such as the Super Mushroom, can be found in 3D Land, as well as new power-ups and special suits that grant Mario interesting new abilities. A variant of the Tanuki suit, which returns from Super Mario Bros. 3, allows him to float in the air and attack with his tail. When it comes to the game's plot, this time it centers around the mysterious Tail Tree. When a storm hits the Mushroom Kingdom, Princess Peach goes to check on the tree because she's worried about it. Surprise, surprise, she fails to return, and all that can be found by the tree the next morning is an envelope containing a photograph of Peach in Bowser's grasp. Here we go again. Despite the recycled storyline, Super Mario 3D Land received critical acclaim, registering a score of 90 on Metacritic. Not everyone was a fan of the game's easy difficulty, though. OneUp.com noted that even a moderately skilled player is never in danger of running out of lives in Super Mario 3D Land. Regardless, Super Mario 3D Land was still deemed to be brilliant and addictive by reviewers such as IGN, winning their Editor's Choice Award and being highlighted as the best reason to own a 3DS. The title would go on to sell over 12.8 million copies, making it the 7th best-selling game for the 3DS ever. Fun fact, the #1 best-selling game on the 3DS was released less than 1 month after Super Mario 3D Land, and was yet another popular game that features Mario. Can you guess what it is? Congratulations if you said Mario Kart 7, because you're right. As of 2022, the much-loved racing game has sold close to 19 million copies on Nintendo's 3D handheld console. The next Super Mario game to release on the 3DS was New Super Mario Bros. 2, which hit store shelves in July 2012, and was also the first retail game to be available as a digital download in the Nintendo eShop. It served as a sequel to the 2006 Nintendo DS game, New Super Mario Bros., as well as a follow-up to New Super Mario Bros. Wii from 2009. Following a visit to Princess Peach's castle, just after Mario and Luigi bid farewell, a black shadow appears, accompanied by a loud boom. It's Bowser's minions, because of course it is, and they're here to capture the princess, because of course they are. Mario and Luigi can do nothing but stand and stare as the princess is whisked away. But the heroes soon set out in pursuit, and a new adventure begins. Just like its predecessors in the New Super Mario Bros. Series, this game is a 2D platformer, but some of the characters and objects are 3D renderings on 2D backgrounds. This results in a so-called 2.5D effect. It plays just like the earlier entries too, although there are new features and additions, as one would expect. The story has both single-player and multiplayer options, with 2 players able to connect using separate 3DS handhelds and play together simultaneously as Mario and Luigi. There is a strong emphasis on collecting gold coins in the game, and new items such as gold flowers give players a better chance of collecting more. All collected coins are totaled on the title screen and the overworld map. An entirely new feature called Coin Rush Mode becomes available after completing the first world in the game. In this mode, the player must play through 3 randomly chosen levels, collecting as many coins as possible. However, the player is given only 1 life, and each level gives a time limit of 50 or 100 seconds. The overall objective of New Super Mario Bros. 2 appears to be collecting 1 million coins, after which the player is rewarded with a new title screen featuring a gold Mario statue. New Super Mario Bros. 2 received a score of 78 on Metacritic, which is not nearly as high as its predecessor. The official Nintendo magazine summarized that New Super Mario Bros. 2 was bittersweet, because, by default, it's the best side-scrolling platformer on the 3DS. And it's even better than the original New Super Mario Bros. But that came out 6 years ago now, and in that time, we'd really expected the series to have progressed a little further than just a 3D effect and Coin Rush Mode. New Super Mario Bros. 2 became a huge commercial success, though, with a whopping 13.4 million copies sold. Fun fact, while the reward for collecting 1 million coins was always made clear, there is, in fact, a different reward available for maxing out the game's coin counter at 9,999,999 coins. Players who have the patience and dedication to achieve such a feat are instead rewarded with a gold raccoon Mario statue. It's a nice touch from the developers, but whether it's worth all that extra effort, I'm not so sure. Just as the Nintendo Wii was given a follow-up title for the first New Super Mario Bros. Game, the Wii U received a follow-up to the sequel and was called New Super Mario Bros. U. Released in November 2012, it's notable for being the first mainstream Mario game to be released in high-definition graphics. A brief, yet familiar synopsis of the game sees Bowser's gang having taken over Princess Peach's castle with the goal of the player to end the cruel gang's unwanted occupation and free the princess. Interestingly, to date, this is the only 2D Mario platformer that doesn't include or involve Bowser's castle, instead taking place in Peach's domain. Elements such as ice flowers and Yoshi's return from previous installments, while the flying squirrel is a new power-up that lets players glide for long distances or slowly descend down vertical paths and cling to the side of the walls. Baby Yoshis of varying colors can also be picked up and have special abilities like inflating in midair or illuminating dark areas. 2 new game modes are introduced, Challenge Mode and Boost Rush. The former adds restrictions and conditions to levels, like having a short time limit, while Boost Rush takes place on an automatically scrolling level which gets faster as players collect coins. Coin Battle Mode also returns from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, with the player now able to customize battles. The game's HD graphics and various modes were positively received by critics, with New Super Mario Bros. 2 racking up a respectable score of 84. GameSpot called it a challenging platformer, an excellent recreation of Mario's best moments, and the perfect way to kick off Nintendo's journey into HD. Meanwhile, Games Master Magazine described the game as a great excuse for families to gather around the TV and an enticing glimpse of Mario's HD future. A downloadable expansion titled New Super Luigi U was released in June 2013 as part of Nintendo's Year of Luigi campaign. Fun fact, the Year of Luigi in 2013 celebrated the 30th anniversary of Luigi's first appearance in a video game. Nintendo wanted to commemorate this event with a year-long campaign involving plenty of Luigi-themed merchandise and games. Shigeru Miyamoto previewed multiple upcoming titles that included the younger brother, like Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, and Mario & Luigi Dream Team. However, the year ended up being a disaster for Nintendo, as they reported a record loss of 46.4 billion yen, which is around 456 million. Yikes. Maybe things just work better when Mario takes center stage. Poor Luigi. Meanwhile, Mario was still cashing in, as New Super Mario Bros. U became yet another commercial success with 5.8 million copies sold. This was a lot considering the terrible sales numbers of the Wii U, and placed it as the third best-selling game on the console. In 2019, an enhanced port for the Nintendo Switch titled New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe was released, and guess what? It became a huge commercial success, with 12.7 million copies sold, leading to combined sales of a whopping 18.5 million copies. Well done, Mario! Although the Wii U was ultimately a commercial flop for Nintendo, it still played host to some great Super Mario titles. In November 2013, while Luigi was shaking his thing at the office, he also appeared alongside Mario in Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. During an evening celebration, the plumbers find a sparkling pipe outside Princess Peach's castle. Curious, they peek inside, and they discover a fairy kingdom. Unfortunately, Bowser has discovered it too, and has already captured the Sprixie princesses. Thus, the scene is set for a new adventure involving Mario, Luigi, and friends. Like in previous games, players progress through various levels to reach Bowser. One of the new power-ups introduced this time is the Super Bell, which turns the player into a cat and allows them to climb up walls and use a scratch attack. Notably, Super Mario 3D World is the first in the Super Mario 3D series to include multiplayer. Gamers can choose to play as Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, or Blue Toad. The characters' abilities are similar to those from the original Super Mario Bros. 2, with Mario possessing his standard run and jump capability, while Luigi can jump higher with a flutter kick. Peach can float in the air, and Blue Toad can run faster than the others. Super Mario 3D World's level design, presentation, replay value, and soundtrack were all highly praised, and the game, in general, received critical acclaim from reviewers. IGN gave 3D World a 9.6 out of 10 and commended the youthful energy of the visuals, the interesting risks taken with the level designs, the maddening challenge offered by later worlds, and the genuinely funny and memorable co-op. Metacritic recorded a review score of 93, and the game sold 5.9 million units worldwide, becoming the second best-selling game for the Wii U. Obviously, the best-selling game was again Mario Kart. This time, Mario Kart 8. Multiple media outlets, including the likes of Eurogamer and Digital Spy, awarded Super Mario 3D World Game of the Year. It's just a shame it was let down so badly by the console it was on. Unprecedented creativity and an odyssey await in the next episode. Yeah! Click the video on screen to watch it now. And thanks for watching.